Usually a person that's been using a lot of methamphetamines becomes very skinny. And if they've been picking at their face for hours on end, there's a lot of different marks. Hello everybody, my name is Pej. I'm a drug interventionist. I specialize in helping people with drug addiction, alcoholism, and mental health. Today we're going to talk about meth bugs. So what are meth bugs? You know, it is actually called formication. Formication is basically paresthesia, which means that people actually think that there are bugs that are crawling under their skin. That happens often when people are doing methamphetamines, when they are up for long periods of time without sleep. They're sleep deprived or malnourished. Psychosis comes in many different forms, shapes, and sizes. There are often people that will think that there are stuff like growing underneath their skin, on their arms, different parts of their body, but definitely they think that their epidermis has bugs crawling within it. So what causes people to see them? People actually don't really see them, although they think that they see them. So they think that they're there. They will start picking and picking to try to get underneath, to get them out. Sometimes I think that when somebody's up for long enough, they will hallucinate and really think that they see something, but their mind plays tricks on them, and then they will keep going after that. So the reason that I feel very compelled to talk about this is because I used to be a person that used a lot of meth, and we had actually this rule in our house that when our female friends came over, or even some of our male friends, they weren't allowed to go in the bathroom or lock the bathroom door for more than 5 minutes, because often they would go in there and pick at their faces for hours and hours. So a great indicator to knowing if somebody's actually been experiencing meth bugs is how their face, their appearance looks. You have to understand, there are different drugs for different people that you can tell if somebody's on something. Let's say, for example, there's a heroin addict. You can often see if they have track marks on their arms. But when it comes to meth bugs, usually a person that's been using a lot of methamphetamines becomes very skinny. And if they've been picking at their face for hours on end, there's a lot of different marks. There's bludgeons, you can see that the skin has been broken, sort of like acne, when somebody picks at their face too much with acne. But this is like overextensive, like they'll just do it times 100, times 1,000. Sometimes people will spend hours at picking at their faces, their arms, or other parts of their body. So often I get this question of how can someone overcome meth addiction? And, truly, I think everybody has their own experience. It's not an easy addiction to overcome because it's more of a mind game. It's not like you really have a physical dependency upon meth. It's usually within your head where you really, really want to just keep doing more. You don't know how to live. You can't stop, or you will stop for periods of time to sleep it off for a long time. But all of a sudden that the thought comes back of, just one more time. I mean, I used meth for almost 18 years. There was a period of time where I had stopped for a little while, but I had gotten back onto it. So how does one quit? One actually has to make an absolute decision within themselves to stop. If you know somebody that doesn't know how to quit and you want us to try to help them, an intervention can often be put in place. It's not always easy to help somebody with a meth addiction, because especially when they're already in psychosis, to try to convince them that they need to get off of meth, it can be a task, a very difficult task, but it's doable. And I think that when someone wants to actually stop, they have to make that decision and then stop and stay stopped. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done on the back end too, so that they can remain in pure sobriety from meth addiction and other addictions. So if you or somebody that you know is struggling with meth addiction, or they have meth bugs and you would like us to help you out in any way, shape, or form, please call this number right here and I will make sure that I talk to you. And if you'd like more information, watch my video on meth psychosis. This way.